Why will a woman talk to her gay best friend and her messy pastor for 3 hours about absolutely nothing? But when her man tries to have a 5 minute conversation about commitment, she shuts down. It's simple. Those two validate her dysfunction. He holds her accountable. And most women would choose validation over accountability every single time. But here's what most men miss. Samson had the same problem. He kept hiring the wrong women for the role, and it cost him everything. Let me show you how to avoid his mistake. Look at this right here. This is her on the phone with her validation sources. Could be her gay best friend, could be her messy pastor, who's got his own issues but loves to give relationship advice. Doesn't matter who it is. What matters is what's happening in this conversation. She's talking about going to the club this weekend. She's talking about what outfit she's going to wear. She's talking about how she doesn't need a man, how she's independent, how she's a queen, and whoever she's talking to is gassing her up. Her gay best friend is saying, "Yes, girl, you better go out. You don't need him. You a strong, independent woman." Her messy pastor is saying, "God has someone better for you, sis. Keep praying. Your Boaz is coming." Nobody's telling her the truth. Notice her energy. She's relaxed. She's laughing. She's comfortable. Why? Because there's zero accountability in this conversation. And this is exactly what happened to Samson. He kept hiring the wrong women for the role of wife. Delilah didn't qualify for the position. She was working for the enemy the whole time. And most men today are making the same mistake, keeping women on a roster who can't execute the vision. You don't hear people say the employees make the CEO better. You hear the new CEO turn the company around by hiring better employees and managers. Same principle applies here. Let me show you what I mean. Nobody's asking her the hard questions. Nobody's challenging her choices. Nobody's holding up a mirror and saying, "Hey, you're 35 years old with kids. Maybe hitting the club every weekend isn't the move. Maybe you need to stop waiting on Boaz and start cooperating with the man God already sent you." No. Instead, they're validating every bad decision she's about to make. And guess what? She loves it because validation feels good. Validation doesn't require her to change. Validation doesn't require her to grow up. Validation lets her stay exactly where she is, doing exactly what she's been doing, and still feel good about herself. This is why she could talk to people for 3 hours, because there's no tension. There's no discomfort. There's no growth. It's just an echo chamber telling her what she wants to hear. And here's the thing. The gay best friend, he's not trying to build a family with her. The messy pastor, he's dealing with his own scandals. But check this out. That messy pastor don't have to do anything but gas her up, and she gives him more than 10% of her income every Sunday. Meanwhile, she'll charge the stoic man who actually wants to build with her and improve her life. She'll charge him for her time, her energy, her cooperation. Think about that. She's paying the pastor to tell her what she wants to hear. But the man with the vision and the standards, he's got to earn access. He's got to prove himself. He's got to pay for the dates, pay for the time, pay for her attention. All while she's freely giving her money to someone who's just validating her dysfunction. Neither one of them got skin in the game. They're not trying to marry her. They're not trying to create generational wealth with her. The pastor's collecting the tithes. The gay best friend's collecting gossip. But neither one is trying to build a legacy with her. So they got no reason to enforce standards. But watch what happens when a man with actual leadership shows up. Now look at this. Same woman, different energy. Why? Because she's sitting across from a man who's interviewing her for the most important role in his life. Wife and mother to his legacy. He's not yelling. He's not emotional. He's calm. but he's asking her the qualifying questions. Where is this relationship going? When are we going to stop playing and start building? You're 35 with 2 kids. When does the fun stop and the responsibility start? And look at her body language. She's defensive, arms crossed. She's uncomfortable. She doesn't want to be here. Why? Because this man is vetting her for the position. And she's failing the interview. See, a man with vision isn't just looking for entertainment. He's evaluating her qualifications. Can she execute the role of wife? Can she mother his children with excellence? Can she support the vision he's building? Can she follow his leadership without sabotaging the mission? And this is where most men fail as leaders. Not her, you. Because your mind will excuse every red flag when you really want something. Just like Samson kept rehiring Delilah, even though she kept trying to destroy the company. A CEO doesn't lower his hiring standards because he's desperate to fill a position. He waits for the right candidate. He vets thoroughly. He tests performance. And he fires quickly when someone can't execute. So let me give you the real hiring criteria for the role of wife. You lead with the iron fist of love and discipline, and you watch her performance. Does she execute the vision and magnify your leadership, or does she sabotage the mission and resist your authority? Here's exactly what to look for. First, has she denounced feminism? Not just in words, but in action, because feminism teaches women to compete with masculine leadership instead of cooperating with it. A feminist woman will never submit to your vision. She'll constantly challenge your authority, question your decisions, and undermine your leadership. She's not qualified for the role. And you'll hear her say things like, I'm just trying to challenge you. Unless that's what you're looking for, you're some weak male with no vision. No woman should be trying to challenge you. She should be supporting you. All right, second, does she look forward to being a mother and wife? Not just tolerating it. Not just doing it because she's supposed to, but genuinely excited about executing the role with excellence. If she's talking about her career goals and her independence at 35, she doesn't want the position. She wants a different job description. Fire her from consideration. Third, does she thrive off order and discipline? Or does she need chaos to feel alive? A woman who can execute under masculine leadership will appreciate structure. She will respect the chain of command. She'll follow the systems you create because she understands they protect the mission. A woman who sabotages will constantly test your authority, create drama, and resist every standard you set. She's a bad hire. Fourth, is she materialistic? Does she need designer bags and Instagram validation to feel valuable? Because a materialistic woman will drain company resources and never be satisfied. She's chasing external validation instead of executing the mission. She's embezzling from the vision to fund her ego. Fire her. Fifth, is she genuinely caring beyond herself and her offspring? Does she care about your parents, your vision, your legacy, or is everything about her feelings and her needs? A narcissistic woman will hijack your mission to build her empire. A qualified woman will execute your vision with excellence. Now here's the performance review. You lead with love and discipline. You set clear expectations. You enforce standards. You require execution, not excuses. You expect submission to the chain of command, not rebellion against authority. And then you evaluate performance. Does she execute the vision with excellence? Does she magnify your leadership with her cooperation? Does she follow the systems with grace, or does she sabotage? Does she create drama? Does she resist authority? Does she call you controlling? Does she run to her gay best friend and her messy pastor for validation instead of submitting to your leadership? Because Samson's mistake wasn't just hiring Delilah. It was ignoring every performance review that showed she was working for the competition. She kept asking for classified information. She kept trying to weaken his position. She kept proving she was a corporate spy. And he kept her on the payroll because his flesh wanted her more than his spirit wanted to protect the mission. Don't be Samson. Don't let your desire for a woman override your leadership discernment. Don't lower your hiring standards because you're lonely or because you think you can train her into a role. You can't train character. You can only vet for it. And if she fails the performance review, you fire her from consideration. Let me show you what happens when you don't. Fast forward 10 years. She's 45 and hit the wall now. Still single, still looking for a good man. Still wondering where all the real men went. Still waiting on her Boaz while rejecting every qualified leader that God already sent her way. Meanwhile, that man with the vision, he moved on. He hired better. Found a woman who had denounced feminism. Found a woman who was excited about executing the role of wife and mother with excellence. Found a woman who thrived under his leadership and discipline. Found a woman who wasn't materialistic. Found a woman who genuinely cared about executing the mission instead of hijacking it for herself. And he built the family he envisioned, created the legacy he designed, because he didn't lower his hiring standards. He led with the iron fist of love and discipline. And he only built with a woman who could execute the vision instead of sabotaging the mission. Samson lost his strength, his sight, and his purpose because he hired the wrong woman for the role. He kept Delilah on the payroll, even though every performance review showed she was working for the enemy. And he paid for it with everything. Don't be Samson. So if you're a man watching this, understand something. When she sabotages your leadership, she's disqualifying herself from the position. Don't lower your standards to keep her around. Don't excuse failed performance reviews because you're lonely. Vet her with love and discipline. And if she can't execute, fire her from consideration. Let her go back to her gay best friend and her messy pastor. They'll keep her comfortable while you hire someone who's actually qualified. And if you're a woman watching this and you felt convicted, good. That means you still want the job. The question is, are you going to keep choosing validation over execution? Are you going to keep listening to the people who got no skin in the mission? Or are you ready to denounce feminism, embrace cooperation, and execute under masculine leadership instead of sabotaging it? Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. And if this hit home, share it with someone who needs to hear it. This is Locker Room Therapy. Real men, real talk, no filters.